Packers favored by 6.5. The disrespect to Tommy DeVito.
Disrespect.
6.5 underdog.
Who's now the starter? Poor old Tyrod lost his job again from getting hurt.
Hey, he's got more broken ribs.
4 of them. 2 of them displaced.
God, what's up with his ribs?
To be fair, I think the previous thing was not, it was just whilst getting an injection on his sore ribs, they punctured his lung. It's not like they broke his ribs. It's like his ribs were already sore, and then in the attempt to alleviate the pain, they almost killed him.
Yeah. It's been a rough run for Tyrod the last 3 or 4 years.
It has, yeah.
Can the Packers stay hot here? They're favored by 6.5 in New York, Monday Night Football. I mean, the Packers the last 2 weeks, I said it after the Lions game. I said if they play like this, they can beat anybody.
Yeah.
And they were pretty close to playing like that again against the Chiefs. The offense, I don't want to say near perfect game, but they ran the ball effectively. They converted third downs. They created chunk plays. They did everything you need to do to beat the defending Super Bowl champs. And it was the second week in a row that you saw that from the Packers, right? Like a lot of times as underdogs, a team, they make a little run. And then the favorite counterpunches, and it sometimes ends it. The Packers have been counterpunching the favorites, man. They're coming back. They're like, no, I don't care. I don't care if you're coming back. We're going to create big plays, and Jordan Love is just playing out of his mind these last few weeks.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. Like, can that continue? Because I've never seen a quarterback improve in one specific area, like accurate ball location, throwing the ball where you want it to go, and actually hitting that exact spot instantly the way he has. Like Josh Allen did it, and Lamar Jackson did it, but it took them at least a year, probably 2. Jordan Love did it overnight. He just went randomly, okay, I'm going to start throwing the ball exactly where I want it now. I've never seen that. Why would that happen? So either a really weird switch has in fact been flipped in his mind, and he's just a different quarterback now, or he's just been on this weird run where for like 3 weeks straight he's been in the zone and dialed in.
Brett Coleman just tweeted a stat actually as I glanced at Twitter. His adjusted completion percentage, Jordan Love, 20-plus yards, weeks 1 to 8 was 24%, last in the NFL. And then since week 9, 58%, 5th in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like things did completely. So
right.
He more than doubled his adjusted completion percentage on 20-plus yard throws over the last few weeks.
And I think the exact ball location, charting on all throws is an even more stark contrast in the similar kind of time period. It is a wild switch. Now, the Giants' defense, it's not like it's great, but it's an interesting challenge for any quarterback, right? Because they are extremely blitz heavy with Wink Martindale's scheme. They are, in fact, 11th in EPA per play against the pass. So it's not incompetent. It's actually a reasonably good defense. And because it's unique, it is, a different – it's like we talked about earlier with the Vikings, right? They are such a weird scheme to deal with that sometimes it makes teams kind of tense up and go away from their own game and just automatically make themselves worse. So it's an interesting game for this Green Bay offense to see if they can sustain the good run, because it's a challenge that has caused other offenses problems.
Especially now with Christian Watson, his hamstring injury. Right. He's officially questionable, but it doesn't, my guess is...
You would assume out.
Yeah, you would assume out. But like the connection that they had, I can't get over the fact that Jordan Love a few weeks ago, remember the best play that they had in a game about a month and a half ago was a failed RPO. Everybody ran the wrong route. Jordan Love threw up a prayer and it got to a receiver. That was like the best play that they had against Pittsburgh.
Right.
And the receivers in him, not just accuracy, Sam, but they weren't even on the same page. They looked like they were playing with different playbooks for a while. And now Jordan Love is in the tight red zone on 2nd and long after a negative play, throwing the ball before the break on a post to Christian Watson, where he throws it to a thimble outside of the defender's reach for a touchdown. It is night and day, the types of plays and the confidence that Love is playing with and the connection that he has with his receivers. Now, they'll miss Watson, but you have Jaden Reed and you have other guys that have stepped up and Dobbs and everything. So, the other young receivers, Wicks, and it's been impressive. So I think Green Bay is going to continue to roll here, and maybe Tommy DeVito. We'll see what happens with DeVito. He'll cover though.
He'll cover.
Like Tommy will definitely cover on Monday Night Football with the world watching. I'm sure his family's going to be featured heavily here on the broadcast as well.
You would think. Outside of the Dallas game, which again, Dallas has the best pass rush in the NFL and an absolute ball hawk at corner. I mean, that's a nasty defense to be playing against, particularly when you have a bad offensive line. Outside of that game, he's been pretty good.
Yeah. And I was joking at the time that the Giants were calling better plays, but they've, Daboll's historically a good, not play caller, like he's had good offenses, right? They're scheming stuff up pretty well these last few weeks for Tommy DeVito. Where are you going on this one, Monday Night Football?
I think the Giants
Tommy.
will be able to keep that within 6.5 points. I think their defense causes enough problems for Green Bay to keep it closer than that.
Yeah, I'm not betting against Tommy.
No, never.
So I'm going to stick with that. We don't bet against Tommy DeVito here. I think the Packers win, but the Giants will keep it close.